whistle, it's a brand new day. We can make tracks if you're going my way. Chugging on to reach our goal, station to station. Now let's roll. Ooh, this engine's coming on through, on track and on time with a little help from you. This engine's coming on through.
It was a beautiful day on the island of Sodor. The engines were at Knapford Station. Nothing could change the day except for the trucks. Oh no, cried the engines. Donald and Douglas had sped through with the train and Donald crashed into the water tower. James puffed in quickly with his passengers. Whoa, he cried, the water tower's out of place. He backed up a little. I'll go get Sir Topham Hatt, said Duck, before any more engines come through. Duck puffed to go get Sir Topham Hatt. He puffed by the roundhouse and went to the docks to get him. Soon he arrived back with Sir Topham Hatt on Winston. Whoa, Winston! Whoa! No, forwards, not backwards. Winston! Meanwhile, Darren had just come back from the works. But Darren wasn't the only engine that came back. There was a few other engines who had come back. Percy, Henry, Rosie, and Molly were there with Darren. Stanley and Stepney were the engines who also came back, and some other engines went to see him at the works. But meanwhile, the Diesels were talking right by. All the engines come to go see them, and they don't come to see us. And Spencer, of course. Yes, Spencer. It's despicable, said Harry. Disgusting, said Spencer. Disgraceful. Hey, Emily, huffed Edward. Oh, hey, Edward, huffed Emily. What are you just doing sitting in the shed? I don't know, I'm kind of sad. Why? Well, me and Rosie kind of got in a fight, and I don't even know what I did. She just... It was for the pumpkin contest, and she just came up and started being all competitive, and I didn't even do anything. She tried to beat me in the shunting competition, and then she pushed me into her pumpkin. Her pumpkin got ruined. Well, actually, I don't know who pushed those freight cars. Someone pushed freight cars in front of her pumpkin. But anyways, she was just really mean about it. And she wanted to beat me. Really? Yeah. Oh, I guess I'll talk to Rosie about this, puffed Edward. He puffed away to go talk to Rosie about it. Meanwhile, the mess was being cleared up. Donald was lifted on the flatbed. Gordon was going to take Rocky and Donald to the works. James was taking the express. Toby was going to take James as passengers while James took the express. And Sir Topham Hatt was talking to Douglas and Duck. Since Donald was injured, Douglas and Duck would have to take the train. Sir Topham Hatt said Douglas and Duck would be working together. The water tower had been moved back into place. The engines were puffing away to take their trains. Douglas and Duck puffed out to take their train along the way. They were going up to the quarry. Thomas and Oliver had to go to the docks with their trains, so they puffed away. Thomas and Oliver puffed past Elsbridge before they could get into the docks, and soon they arrived. Thomas went one way, and Oliver went the other way. He went to the port to drop some passengers off while Thomas had to go down the branch line. Thomas puffed down the branch line and soon went away to take his passengers. Douglas and Duck had just arrived at the quarry. Hello, Mavis. Douglas, Duck. Oh, I haven't seen you guys in a while. Where's Donald? Well, Donald got injured, so I'll be working with Douglas here. Oh, yes, I'm sad that Donald got injured. I hope he gets back from the work soon. Indeed, huffed Mavis. Well, here, there's some stuff to do. We have to take some shunting and then take the yogurt cars back to the shunting yards. All right, I'll take 'em back, said Douglas. All right, and I'll do most of the shunting work, huffed Duck. The engines uncoupled from the train and went off to go shunt with Mavis. The engines were working hard. Duck was taking the cement mixer and some troublesome trucks, and Douglas was shunting some ballast cars around. Duck found a flour car and was pushing it away. The quarry was filled with all sorts of cars, and the engines had to sort them. Douglas took the yogurt cars away to take to the shunting yards. He went up through Ulfstead Castle to take him back to the shunting yards. Edward pulled up to the sheds to see Rosie. Rosie, what, Edward? I want to talk to you about, Emily and you. Oh, don't you start about that. Why were you trying to beat her? Just 'cause Emily, she gets everything she wants. Ugh, I never get anything. Something had to burst her bubble eventually, and that was me. She just gets everything she wants, and I actually have to work. That may not be true. Oh, don't you start on this, Edward. Whoa, Rosie. Edward. Not my fault. Emily's just a mean engine. Well, she said you were the one. Well, she's a liar. Oh, Edward puffed away. The other engines kind of got scared. Edward puffed back into the yards as Percy was ready to take the mail. Puffed over to Emily and Gordon, who was sitting there as well. Rosie said that you just get everything you want, and she just has to work for everything, you win everything, and she was real snorky about it. Really, Rosie? I have to work for stuff too. We all do. I have to shunt, pull trains just like her. Just then Rosie pulled in. What's she doing? She went over to grab Rocky. Is there an accident or something? The engines puffed. I don't know. She puffed out, shunting Rocky. She pulled out of the yards onto the main line and then puffed into Knapford. Come on, guys, let's go follow her. Don't let her know we're on to her. The engines puffed after her. Shh, we have to be very quiet so she doesn't see us or hear us. Rosie had also grabbed some freight cars and pulled them away. Where's she going with those? They huffed. Come on, let's just go follow her. The engines crept slowly behind, trying not to make any noise. Rosie was biffing the trucks into the pumpkins, and Rocky was tearing them apart. Emily, Gordon, and Edward were watching. Rosie! Puffed Emily. Why are you destroying my pumpkins? Emily! Oh, I didn't know you were there. You scared me. Rosie, why are you tearing apart my pumpkin? Well, you get everything you want, and I don't. We all don't get everything we want, Rosie. Yeah, but everything just gets laid in your lap, and me, I always have to work for it. Well, Rosie, actually, I always have to work. I have to shunt, pull trains. I had to grow my pumpkins. I even had to decorate mine. I guess you're right. I mean, it's no intention towards you. I guess you're right. So, friends? Aww. Stop crying, Edward. Gordon, I'm not crying. You're the one crying. Aw, they made up, puffed the rest of the engines. What, said Darren. Oh, Darren, cried all the engines. So I guess we're done. Yeah, I mean it's getting late. So we should probably go back. Yeah. Alright, hope you had a good time. It's Douglas's duck. Ah, that's actually pretty clever. Yeah, Huff Mavis. Well, I guess we should all go back to our sheds now. Yeah, it's getting dark. So Douglas, Duck, and Mavis puffed back, and they had a wonderful time with Douglas's duck.